shows just a little bit. I don't know. Mark, coming up on chapter 6.
So whenever,
Yeah, you're good to start. When did they tell you to start?
like whenever, I start as I begin.
Okay.
I like when I want to.
Okay. Yeah, whenever. I'm ready. Whenever you are.
Let's give a round of applause for Hari. I had a speech written. Let's be honest, I had a pretty good speech written. But the only problem with that speech is that any one of my classmates could have delivered it. And I am not any one of my classmates. And this isn't just any speech. So instead of sharing that very generic and boring welcome speech with you all this morning, I decided I wanted to tell you a little bit about me and how I found my identity at Cherry Creek High School. All of us in the class of 2018 have a story to tell, and I want to share mine with you today. So, I'm not much of a rock climber, but I'm going to be telling you a story about rock climbing. The first time I ever went climbing, I was terrified, literally terrified. I'll never be able to forget that feeling in my stomach, a combination of churning and knots. It was earlier on in my high school career when a couple of my friends invited me to go up with them. But what many of my friends didn't know at the time is that I was a homeless high schooler living in a motel, attending one of the largest and wealthiest schools in Colorado. I thought I'd hit rock bottom. But this is where my climb began. Due to the anger and embarrassment, I didn't even appreciate the fact that my mother was doing everything in her power to keep me at the school she knew would set me up for success. And because of that, I began to focus all of my energy to more meaningful and productive tasks. Although I began my climb, I also thought life couldn't get any worse. But then it did. I was planning on seeing my mother at her birthday dinner when I got the call that would forever change my life. I remember the environment around me slowed, as if time were frozen, and the feeling of anxiety and uncertainty filled my body. I couldn't believe it. My mother had passed away. Rage and anger filled my mind. I hated not having control over not only my situation, but now my emotions. There was so much out of my hands at this point that I knew I had two options. I could drop everything and let the negativity take over, or I could be resilient and focus on how I wasn't going to end up the way society would have predicted. Needing to be able to control at least one thing in my life, I changed. I focused on the positive instead of making myself a victim. And after my mother's passing, I realized that most of the things I thought mattered just didn't. I recognized how short life was. I began to find myself as a person. I stopped caring how others perceived me. These realizations helped me be true to myself and define my own self-worth. So I climbed on. I made sure on my climb that I found people who would serve as my climbing holds. My teachers, mentors, guardians, and of course friends who'd be there to anchor me along my journey. Through the support of others and my personal decision to be optimistic and resilient, I earned the position of student body president. I thought I'd reach the top. I thought I'd reach the top, but I realized that once I got there, I had lessons to share. And with my new position, I wanted to build a culture of acceptance and understanding at Creek. The graduating class of 2018 has 834 stories to tell, yet we have more in common than we'd like to admit. Earlier this year, when I addressed the senior class, we discussed tolerance, the acceptance of differences, and the importance of these skills to be successful in the real world. Though socioeconomics, race, religion, sexual orientation, or political affiliation might divide us, on the inside, we're all the same. So now I'm ready for the leap. You know the one. The leap you have to take once you've reached the top. That thrilling feeling of free fall you get for like 2 seconds before you realize that the trusted rope will be there to support you. And then you rappel back down to the ground, only to begin your climb all over again. In just a few moments, you will get to meet my 834 classmates, all with their own story. I'm Jerron Lewis, Student Body President. On behalf of the class of 2018, I'd like to welcome all of you to our graduation ceremony. And now, it is my pleasure to welcome the dignitaries from Cherry Creek High School in the Cherry Creek School District.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Mariam Zari, and today I will become a senior graduate at Cherry Creek High School. I want to tell you about my journey come to United States and to Cherry Creek just 4 years ago. I was born in Iran, and I lived 14 years of my life there, and it was great. All the family gatherings, New Year parties, birthdays, picnics, all of them were so much fun. Finally, it was a time for our family to try a new life, for new opportunities and better education in US. Why not? It was a huge move for us, but we did it. My sister and I had watched lots of Disney animations back in Iran, so we accepted to see what we had seen in the movies here in the US. However, once I arrived, it was so different from everything I had imagined. I thought I was going to see castles and beautifully lined streets everywhere. But it was more modern than my city where I have lived in Tehran. So I started my freshman year at a high school in America. It was unbelievable. I was both scared and excited. I thought to myself, how am I going to communicate or fit in with these people when I don't know their language or anything about their culture? Coming to a huge school like Creek was also difficult. because other than it was huge, it didn't look like a high school. It was a beautiful park with buildings in it. Much better than schools in Iran. Schools in Iran are surrounded by walls and fences like you're a prisoner in there. So I started my freshman year as a beginning English language learner. You see, when I first moved here, I couldn't speak a single word in English. Here I am, now a senior on my graduation day. Some days I would run out of class and go into the bathroom crying. I cried because I couldn't understand what the teachers were saying or what they were asking me. The vocabularies, the flashcards, and so many other things were just difficult. But there was a day when I was beginning to speak in English, and after a long time, I realized that I'm finally learning and I would learn. This was a first moment of confidence for me. With my passion for learning and the unwavering support of my teachers, I finally learned English as my second language. Now I speak two languages, Farsi and English. Now I introduce myself, a proud ELA student. In my ELA classes, we are a family. We love and care for each other. I even call Miss Perez mom. It's true, she's a mother. She raised us with love and care. I love you, Dana Perez. You're my role model. As one of the leaders of the ELA, we all want to appreciate you so much from all you have done during these 4 years at Creek. As important as Ms. Perez has been to me and to your ELA family, I want to thank the rest of the Cherry Creek High School faculty for the things they do every day for students at Creek. For me, there were so many other teachers and counselors, such as Mr. Goldsberry and Ms. Matthews, who helped me along the way. I think every one of the students here today have the teachers like the ones that I have mentioned. These teachers have loved and cared for them like their own. For my friend Brenda, it was Mr. Rowe, because he's a sweet man with a kind heart. She said he's the best at Creek. Finally, I want to talk about our terrific principal, Ryan Silva. Mr. Silva, thank you for having this lovely welcoming environment for all of us. We had a wonderful time here, and we thank you and your administration team for hiring great teachers, faculty, and staff at Creek. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor to present to you the faculty of Cherry Creek High School.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you, friends and family, for being here today. My name is Erin Shin, and I'm honored to have served as the senior class president for the class of 2018. Last year, a couple student senators and I gave a group of 28-year-olds a tour of Creek. It was their 10-year high school reunion. The alumni, many dressed in professional attire, came with their significant others and even children. I started trying to imagine my classmates and me coming back to Creek in 10 years, reminiscing about the Decca Snack Shop cookies, may they rest in peace, struggling with Gowngate 2018, which, as you'll see in a few moments, was a controversy that ultimately united our class, and rushing down the bleachers at the Power Week Pep Assembly for the ultimate Sweet Caroline sing-along. However, among our memories are some darker ones. The horror we felt as we sympathized with Stoneman Douglas High School, who had lost 17 amazing students. The devastation of the flooding in Puerto Rico and Houston destroying entire communities. The frustration of the political and social turbulence our world endures right now. But here's what will stand out the most. The DACA protests that advocated for the futures of some sitting in this stadium right now. The fact that collectively, our class earned almost $15 million worth of scholarships. Our incredibly talented fine arts students reaching new levels of artistic achievement. The roaring cheer of CCOD at sporting events. The 17 students who received perfect scores on the ACT. The state championships we have won. The hundreds of students who participated in the school walkout against gun violence. And raising over $28,000 for Bags of Fun. Each of us has accomplished so much individually and collectively. Personally, I have no idea where I'll be or what I'll be doing in 10 years, and that may be true for many of you. However, whether we are going to college, entering the workforce, serving our country, or traveling the world, I'm certain that we, the class of 2018, are going to change this world. In fact, let me highlight some examples of how we're already changing the world. Composing original pieces of music, performing cutting-edge research to cure disease, knowing more about government and public policy than the US Congress, redesigning the CCHS Bruins Den app, raising the standard for elite athleticism, and so much more. So it's not a matter of if we're going to change the world, it's a matter of how and when. And in 10 years, when we come back to our high school reunion, I'm certain that we will have our own stories to tell as we reminisce about our 4 years we spent at Cherry Creek High School. Friends and family, friends and family, please stand and help me welcome my 834 ambitious, creative, intelligent friends and peers, the glorious class of 2018.
Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing. Gentlemen, please remove your caps for the singing of our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Ladies and gentlemen, we would now like to introduce you to our dignitaries in attendance.
First, we are pleased to welcome our school board members who have joined us today.
Mr. David Willman, Board of Education President.
Miss Kathy Bates, Board of Education Member. Mrs. Karen Fisher, Board of Education Member.
Mr. Eric Parrish, Board of Education Member.
We are also honored to have in attendance our Superintendent, Dr. Harry Bull. Today will be Dr. Bull's final graduation with us at Cherry Creek High School. We would like to ask you to join us as we thank him for his 34 years of service to the Cherry Creek School District. Thank you, Dr. Bull, from all of us at Cherry Creek.
We would like to acknowledge our district leadership, executive directors, and feeder principals in attendance today. We appreciate everything you do to contribute to the success of this graduating class. Please stand to be recognized at this time.
Next, we will introduce our faculty readers who will be reading the names of the graduates. Please hold your applause until all names are read. Senior Class Advisors, Miss Yael Abrahamson, Mr. Matt Weiss, Dr. Krista Keogh.
Our Teacher of the Year, Miss Marty Benham. Teacher selected by the class of 2018, Mr. Christian Kaloran, Miss Nancy Major, Mr. Taylor Dufford,
and Mr. Jack August. Last but not least, we would like to introduce our Cherry Creek High School administration. Mr. Ryan Silva, Principal.
Miss Tracy Doherty, Assistant Principal. Mr. Marcus McDavid, Assistant Principal.
Mr. Kevin Ulig, Assistant Principal.
Mr. Jason Wilkins, Athletic Director. Mr. Mark Goldsberry, Assistant Athletic Director.
Miss Jessica Robinson, Assistant to the Principal. And Mr. Michael Mazenko, Program Assistant.
Thank you all for being here today to celebrate our graduation.
Now, to present the senior class of 2018, Mr. Ryan Silva, Principal of Cherry Creek High School.
Good morning. It is an honor to be here on this 23rd day of May to present to you the class of 2018. Seniors, exactly 9 months ago today, you gathered in the theater for your senior assembly. Your peers delivered speeches that would motivate you and excite you for your last year of high school. I personally challenged you to serve as role models for the underclassmen and to leave behind a legacy that would make all Bruins proud. That moment in the theater served as a milestone in your childhood, and in a lot of ways, it served as your transition to adulthood. If you ask your parents, it all happened far too quickly. These seniors gathered before you were either born at or near the turn of the century. Yes, when they were brought into the world, the average cost of a gallon of gas was $1.22. We used dial-up to connect to the internet, and we left messages on a little box called an answering machine. We all had some type of concern about what might happen on Y2K. Some of us even believed that the world might end. Yet, here they all were, alive and well, on August 23rd, 2017, prepared for their senior year. They were asked to think back to their freshman year when they attended Creek 101, and the majority of the girls were taller than the boys. Their sophomore year, they thought hard for memories there, but it was a little bit challenging after all the seniors and freshmen hog all of the attention. The junior year was the most challenging year of all. It was filled with tough classes. It was filled with preparation for the college application and standardized tests. And then the moment that they had been waiting for finally arrived, their senior year. I'm proud to stand here this morning and report to you that this group of seniors is not only leaving behind a legacy that will last the test of time, but they have been exceptional. Now, I know that that type of description will be used over and over and over at graduation ceremonies all around this country this spring. But in this case, it's actually true. These seniors will go down as one of the best, if not the very best class that Cherry Creek High School has ever seen. The students seated before you represent 26 National Merit Scholars, 40 Commended Students, 6 National Hispanic Scholars, 2 Betcher Scholars, a Daniels Fund Scholar, a Coca-Cola Scholar, 2 Military Appointed Students, 522 Advanced Placement Scholars, and 2 United States Presidential Scholars. To top it off, this group of seniors scored the highest composite ACT score that Cherry Creek High School has ever seen in 63 years. Pretty amazing, isn't it? But I'm not done yet. This group of seniors has been involved in extracurricular activities that have required leadership and community service. This year alone, they have raised over $60,000 for different causes. Some of them are already published. Some of them are also known to be some of the best mathematicians and scientists for their age. Others are paid artists, and all of them are really just good people. On the athletic field, they have won 45 league titles. And what's impressive is this spring, there are 9 sports offered at Cherry Creek. They won league titles in 8 of those 9 sports. Additionally, during their careers, they have won 14 state championships, including girls tennis, girls golf this spring, and tonight, for the 21st consecutive year in a row, they will compete for a women's lacrosse title. This group of seniors has been outstanding in many, many ways. I appreciate the open mind that they've been known to have, but I also appreciate their willingness to stand up for what they believe in. Colleges from around this country have been excited to accept these seniors as members of their freshman class. 100% of them have a postgraduate plan in place, and they have earned scholarships that total $18.2 million. I am proud of every one of these seniors, regardless of what their journey will take them on next. I do want to ask our seniors who have elected to go into the armed forces to please stand so we may thank them for their service. The members of the class of 2018 have been incredible. Parents, I want to thank you for sending them to school well prepared to learn and for sharing them with us. None of the accomplishments that I've talked about today would happen without the amazing faculty and staff at Cherry Creek High School. Over 300 plus strong that take their jobs very seriously, and they work very hard every day to provide the very best for our students. Seniors, please join me now in a round of applause for both your parents and the faculty and staff at Cherry Creek High School. Class of 2018, in a few hours, you are going to leave high school officially. But I want you to know that life is really just beginning. I'd like to leave you now with 3 simple pieces of advice that I believe will serve you well in life. First, find work in a career that make you happy. You're going to spend countless number of hours, weeks, months, years doing your job. Hopefully you will find more times to smile than you will to sigh and frown. Life is too short not to find joy in your craft. Second, build and nurture relationships. I've been to 40 states, 15 countries. I've been steps away from the Pope at the Vatican City. I've been to the Super Bowl. I've been to plays on Broadway. But none of those moments would be as special if I didn't share them with people I care for. Life is going to be busy. Don't let it occupy you so much that you neglect the people who care for you. You're going to need them. And then finally, choose to be positive and smile. I'll admit there's a lot of negative around us, but I also believe that there's more positive in this world than there is bad. You'll get to choose the perspective that you look at the world with. I hope that you choose the positive one and you smile. You're going to be happier that way. Devin Virginia said, in the end, we're stories. Just make it a good one. Without further ado, Mr. Willman, members of the Board of Education, Dr. Bull, Dr. Siegfried, Ms. Stearns, it is with great pleasure that I certify to you that the students seated before you have met all requirements of high school graduation as set forth by the state of Colorado, the Cherry Creek School District, and Cherry Creek High School. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the Cherry Creek class of 2018.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you will please hold your applause till the end of the full diploma group so that all names can be read. Diploma Group 1, please stand. Come on up. Please come forward to receive your diplomas. Isabel Catherine Onema.
Joseph Christopher Enriquez Miramontes.
Grace Lau.
Paul Joseph Stoiber.
Brett Michael Brenner.
Sydney Haith.
Alexander Austin Lamb.
Samantha Schmidt.
Lily Rebecca Brooks.
Sydney Felson.
Christopher Hyunwoo Lee.
Clarissa Francis Starbuck.
Carly Greeley.
Annika Gustafson.
Sarah May Mitko.
Farron Schaefer.
Sean Cato Fears.
Joshua Malcolm Martelon.
Julia Salame.
Drew Kendall Granger.
Kenna Flower.
Anna Monroy.
Addie Vanovska.
Lucas James Jeffrey Hoffman.
Aaron Ely.
Olivia Leek.
Annabelle Samansky.
Catherine Carol Marguerite Hoffman.
Jackson Geraci.
Grace McGinnis.
William Wong.
Sheila Alizadeh.
Graham Geraci.
Daisy Magana Ortiz.
Chris Seifert.
Isabel Elise Adkisson.
Jackson Hanks.
Alexis Eileen Mercado.
Christopher Andrew Tekovic.
Riley Nicole Dixon.
Caleb Gherkin.
Charles Bennett Lewis IV.
Zachary Eunice.
Ari Kutzer.
Alec Michael Gonzalez.
Ryan Maroney.
Draven Ryan.
Joris Alloway.
Brett Joseph Gonzalez.
Christopher Martin.
Lawrence Stoiber.
Ali Abbas.
Daniel Ross Franklin.
Oliver Malberg.
Victor Cencharelli Schulich.
Amadia Carey Alamin.
Lincoln Rissler Harvey.
Skylar Madison.
Josh Shanks.
Delaney Ann Dyer.
Tova Alana Fisher.
Edward Ansel Meyer.
Jeffrey James Schmidt.
Mary Elizabeth Asherman.
Anita Lucinda Douglas.
Nathaniel Lay.
Eric Shearer.
Cameron Ray Aylesworth.
Natnael Haile.
Drew Lay Alerta.
Tyler Shane.
Hannah Sutterquist Garrity.
Jack Hansen.
Minju Lee.
Bryn Chan.
Ryan Garland.
Thomas William Etchell.
Anna Elizabeth McCullum.
Eli Reed Silverman.
Jason Tao.
Eobel Dusta Hale.
Anna Meyer Doma.
Morgan Walls.
Joseph Ryan Grillo.
Lita Geltzer.
Yvonne Liu.
Saria Vafina.
Charles Michael Gruber.
Whitney Ann Fairbairn.
Valerie Lambogia.
Galia Hope Sickles.
Jack Edward Evenson.
Devin Reed Ehrlich.
Madeline McCullough.
Audrey Urbanowitz.
Brett Samuel Hazlett.
Emily Marie Hallberg.
Sun Ho Lee.
Daisy Van.
Jacob Allen Hauser.
Kyle Owen Dolvin.
Zachary Meyer.
Brenda Wangari.
Micah Beach Handler.
Jack Dunbar.
Samuel Jack Osman.
Morgan Leah Balent.
Ashley Jane Hand.
Brennan Durigi.
Chloe Lane.
Megan Sky Tunnell.
Kaylee Christine Baker.
Ethan Elgavish.
Melissa Marshall.
Jesse David Scott.
Seda Bazarian Chasteen.
Ryan Andrew Dwayne.
Trevor Montreal.
Alex Tateman.
James Bernard Erickson.
Gabrielle Ivana Edwards.
Andrew Malman Berg.
Parker Sampson.
Nicholas Charles Edwards.
Pat Gar.
Reed Mooney.
Daniel Reeves.
Alexander Saunders Harrington.
Hannah Dionis.
Brady Matthew Minnie.
Ivan Ringel.
Catherine Grace Holder.
Lindsay Adriana Evans.
Ashley Rose Miller.
Isaac Shin.
Maximilian Kirk Gomez.
Sophia Isabella Grattan.
Maxim O'Connell.
Derek Wang.
Allison Margaret Aaron.
Caroline Emmerich.
Alexa Moore.
Leon Shen.
Cameron William Barnard.
Stephanie Gladue.
Nella Milich.
Wesley Shen.
Esther Yejin On.
Sydney Fulton.
Joseph Mason McMenemy.
Jada Villanueva.
Sophia Isabella Bird.
Madison Grimm.
Margot Ann Metzgar.
Kiana Marie Walker.
Nimatjan Bobo Abdullayev.
Jennifer Janon Douglas.
Ryan Thomas Long.
Brijanay Nicole Walker.
Matt Fisher.
Peyton Feringer.
Molly Lee Brandt.
Emily Schaff Olson.
Daniel Gano.
Gina Francis Dionis.
Jack Leach.
Nick Vance.
Braden Campbell.
Paulina Gutierrez.
Gabriel James Murillo.
Paul Smith.
Dallin Hawes.
Jacqueline Gonzalez.
Santana Rojun Morn. Monroe.
Lucas Stafford.
Brian Ayala Silva.
Victoria Ray Griffiths.
Aubrey Jill Lycum.
Charles Sennett.
Lauren Becker.
Ty Dorsey.
Heaney.
Ainsley Tar.
Cameron Azari.
Elijah Redmond Geltman.
Marcus Manley.
Natalie Jane Smalcolm.
Leonora Baulina.
Nicholas Michael Eidler.
Taylor L. Mancini.
Henry Savage.
Anita Ashuri.
Hallie Evans.
Max Malden.
Tyler Schultz.
Betty Bai.
Bo Garfinkel.
Jake Lawrence.
Jack Tellitz.
Congratulations, Diploma Group 1.
think we're ready, yeah.
Okay, they're about ready. Go ahead and bring them up.
And a full dance.
Looking back on when I was a little nappy-headed boy, then my only worry was the Christmas, what would be my toy. Even though we sometimes would not get a thing, we were happy with the joy that it would bring. Sneaking out the back door to hang out with those hoodlum friends of mine. Ooh, greeted out the back door before I thought I told you not to go outside. Try your best to bring the water to your eyes, thinking it might stop her from whipping you behind. I was so steep, could come back once more. Why did those days ever do go? I was so steep, could come back once more. Why did those days ever do go? 'Cause I love it so. Do 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 do. Oh, brother said he's telling about you playing doctor with that girl. Just don't tell, I give you anything you want in this whole wide world. Mama gives you money for Sunday school. You trade it for candy after church is through. Smoking cigarettes and writing something nasty on the wall. You nasty boy. The teacher sent you to the principal's office just down the hall. You go up and learn that kind of thing ain't right. But while you were doing it, they shoved that out of sight. I was so steep, could come back once more. Why did those days ever do go? I was so steep, could come back once more. Why did those days ever do go? 'Cause I love it so.
When I was in kindergarten, I met Claire, and I swore I would never speak to her again.
Clearly that didn't work out so well.
On the first day of 6th grade, I met Julia, and I swore I would never speak to her again.
Did that even happen?
But here we are on our graduation day, giving a speech together.
Oh, the lessons we've learned.
Oh, the lessons we've forgotten.
And the lessons we'll always wonder, when am I ever going to use this?
But it is the non-academic ones and the ones we learned from the good Dr. Seuss that will stick with us forever.
Freshman year.
Everyone will have a freshman fall.
Maybe 2.
You will have a backpack that's bigger than you.
And that's okay.
Sophomore year.
Your backpack will still be huge.
That's slightly less okay.
Get used to hiking in from GV.
Can you say killer calves?
Junior year.
Junior year is just
Bad. Senior year.
Painter's pants are flattering on no one.
Except for me.
And you'll have to choose between paying for lunch or transcript requests.
Lunch. Every time.
But in all seriousness, Cherry Creek High School has taught us a lot.
And while we'll all remember our first fall and our last game, it's those bigger life lessons that we'll carry with us.
Oh, the lessons we've learned. I think we can all agree that our world is in no way, shape, or form perfect. We've grown up in a time where things such as violence,
poverty,
and climate change
are undisputed facts of reality. While it may feel that as a single individual, there isn't much you can do to make a change, together, we have the power to make the world, our world, a place we actually want to live in. I have often heard many negative qualities associated with our generation. We are easily distracted,
don't know how to communicate,
and are technologically reliant.
What they often fail to mention about us, though, is our ability to creatively collaborate to find big solutions to big problems. We think left and think right. We think low and think high. Oh, the things we think up, if only we try. Our generation isn't focused on simply fixing the issues in our communities. Our goal is to solve the world's problems. And we aren't going to do so by remaining practical, because as I've learned at Cherry Creek High School, you can't change reality by being realistic.
Today is the day. This is where we enter the real world. As we leave our little creek bubble, we all have to start thinking about the important decisions, the life-changing decisions. Throughout senior year, parents, teachers, and friends have all bombarded us with questions like, where do you want to go?
What do you want to study?
Can a change in price really change demand?
As annoying as it has been, these questions are not what the world tells us to love.
We live in a world that needs to be changed whether we like it or not. Our generation has experienced more mass shootings than any other before us. But we are also part of the generation that has been taught to love who you love and pursue your passion, because equality, advancement, and improvement are all possible. Of all the change that has occurred over the past few years, none of it has come without hard work. We say our government,
our country,
our world
need to change, but we have to be willing to make that change. We cannot stand by and hope a mass of unconnected, unorganized actions will change the status quo. Unless someone like you cares a whole awful lot, nothing's going to get better. It's not. Only by pursuing a greater goal until we achieve the results we want will we be able to embody the most important lesson I've learned at Cherry Creek, and that is, don't mistake activity for achievement.
So, be your name Bucksbaum or Bixby or Bray,
or Mordecai Alley Van Allen O'Shea.
You're off to great places.
Today is your day.
Your mountain is waiting.
So get on your way. Oh, wait! Don't forget that a change in price cannot change demand.
Quick, write that down.
Watch the cord.
Diploma Group 2, please stand. Diploma Group 2, please come forward to receive your diplomas. Gabrielle Clotas.
Brian C. Paul.
Carter Alexis Still.
Trey Bowman.
Megan Elizabeth Joyce.
Daniel David Parker.
Emily Ann Wilkins.
Gray Brewer.
Aroma Cole.
Zachary Roberts.
Madeline Elizabeth Webb.
Zach Coulter.
Evelyn Renee Jenkins.
Mike Ragnow.
Claire Ingram Rainey.
Aubrey Brian Couch.
Jordan Lane Kasanoff.
Kevin Reiser.
Sophie Ellen Lutz.
Lincoln Chambers.
James Fowler Kiesling.
Neha Bazungoda Patil.
Lauren Jane Saul.
Sterling James Dalton.
Isaac Crone.
Andrea Leanne Perez.
Delaney Christine Smith.
Nicholas Cressetto.
Jack Holen.
Carolina Amber Perez.
Anna Elizabeth Stroher.
Maher Kaur Chada.
Brad Kelly.
G. Young Park.
Striker Chase Lewis.
Jessica Bell Cantor.
Stone Heyman.
Tanya Ramirez.
Tanner Joseph Otremba.
Aaron Ann Campbell.
Lawrence Kindrigan.
Ryan Roy.
Joseph Micah Reef.
Samuel Barthwaj.
Hoyt Carr.
Manley Irden.
Pearl Marie Schwartz.
Michael Bess.
Hyunsu Joseph Jang.
Angelo Plaza Martinez.
Samantha Rose Poole.
Jacob George Davis.
Lisa Ivashenko.
Anushra Regami.
Hallie Diane Sibilia.
Rebecca Jean Demery.
Madison Claire Holland.
Susmita Suba.
Lauren Page Maston.
Kimberly Ann Connolly.
Azariah Grace Jessaroga.
Allison Ann Reed.
Paige May Nichelle.
Milo Keto.
Colette Marie Jackson.
Monsi Rowell.
Daly Jordan Solomon.
Ethan Carnes.
Eliza King.
Jane Pastelova.
Kelsey Ann Sharp.
Ryan Bresnig.
Rachel Hutchinson.
Shelby Ray Norris.
Joseph Lincoln Eigner.
Justin Chen.
Abigail Elizabeth Hostetler.
Robin Michelle Nazi.
Josh Jeffrey Stephen Wojan.
Robert Charles Chambers.
Lena Kim.
Ethan John Muna.
Megan O'Connor.
Tanvi Berry.
Diane Zhang.
Austin Munger.
Michael Zamora.
Timothy William Cooper.
A.J. Kumar.
Zachary Portela.
Benjamin Wilson.
Nicola Kate Cooper.
Kira Faith Hughes.
Ray Allen Quintana Jr.
Ryan Russell.
Aaliyah Christine Caldwell.
Amalia Bell Camlet.
Anna Penterman.
Aditya Sinha.
Nicholas Bushman.
Jeremy Johnston.
Jared Hunter Morgan Pabst.
Lily Catherine Penaloza.
Abigail Marie Brooks.
Timothy Keelhack.
Marcellus Norman.
Jordan Ray McCurdy.
Taylor Ethan Klein.
David Kuharski.
Darius Price.
Emma Rebecca Reed.
Davidson Pierre Becker.
Bria Imani Henderson.
Jayla Richardson.
Pratika Parmar.
D. Jackson Blatter.
Jovan Jones.
Megan Ann Patrick.
Anna Weinstein.
Kevin Daza.
Audrey Koenig.
Samuel Robert Roach.
Stephen Wu.
Shani Escobar.
Laura Grace Kramer.
Rochelle Nicole Rakin.
Nathan Kongchen Zhao.
Dee Dee Brashers.
Eliza Keating.
Peter Nichols.
Joseph Winchester.
Alex Cochran.
Brandon Murray Jacobs.
Bennett James Riley.
Rourke Veazey.
Garrett Berkowitz.
Jungwoo Hong.
Casey Ward Randall.
Jack Windsor.
Atalia Batiste Coleman.
Kensington Holman.
Laurel Marin Reavers.
Jenna Joel Yanofsky.
Desiree Detloff.
McKenna Kaylin Lafferty.
Benjamin Lewis Murray.
Jacob J. Zapata.
Quinn Calhoun Cox.
Jacqueline Nicole Henry.
Quentin James Parr.
Bristol Wilson.
Anna Virginia Bruce.
Kavia Kanan.
Henry Robb.
Abby Murray White.
Marjorie Jane Berman.
Madeline Marie Kenningsecker.
Connor Roundtree.
Valerie Kirkamo.
Courtney Elizabeth Brinkley.
Carson Cable Cutler.
Connor Regan.
Nicholas Cody Whittam.
Zach Corwin.
Jillian Bay Heichel.
Bryson Phipps Owens.
Cameron James Welch.
Catherine Conrad.
Colton Hollub.
Ben Pfefferly.
Derek Wasico.
Victoria Dellett.
Brett Kaplan.
Jay Park.
Madeline Westcoat.
Jack Conjo.
Matt Johnston.
Scott Ransom.
Nina Giselle Yee.
Saravia Thanwada.
Andrew Kwan.
Pascal Perez.
Ben Ward.
Hannah Painting Cousin.
Duan Huh.
Luke Tyler Pesdertz.
Jacob Wood.
Cameron Tyler Campbell.
Ben Jaw.
Leo Ron.
Cade Wood.
Bo Cole.
Azizbek Konov.
Thomas Phillips.
Nicholas Wesley Wright.
Curran Carroll.
Tyler Nickel.
William Jahu Shu.
Congratulations, Diploma Group 2.
In a moment, I'm going to ask you to stand up, turn to someone you don't know, and begin tickling that person. Although some of you may find this request slightly terrifying, many of you are clearly amused. If this is funny, it begs the question, how did I become such a comic genius? Just kidding. The question this actually begs is what makes things funny? This is an important question because humor is pervasive in the world and has numerous benefits. We learn to laugh before we learn to talk. So as the class of 2018 enters the adult world, I wanted to talk about why humor has a place in our lives. Soon after starting my research for this speech, I realized that the question, what makes things funny, is way too complicated and nuanced to effectively discuss in a 4-minute graduation speech. But I'm going to do it anyways. Researchers at the University of Colorado actually formed a humor research lab, codenamed HURL, to find an answer to this question. They concluded that in order for something to be funny, there has to be what they call a violation. In other words, something has to be off. There's a threat to the way you perceive the world. At the same time, this violation has to also be benign. There's either no real harm, some sort of distance, or another explanation that makes the threat okay. For something to be funny, both of those elements have to be there. Hopefully you figured out by now that I'm not actually going to make you tickle a stranger. But you still laughed because something was off. Tickling a stranger breaks many existing social and possibly legal norms. But this was still benign because I created a distance. I said that this would be in the future, not in the present. Also, you saw in the program that my speech was called The Best Medicine. You knew that my speech wasn't going to be about aspirin, but about humor, so it might make sense for me to ask you to do something funny like that. If there's not a violation or some kind of threat, it's not funny. For example, you can't tickle yourself. You can try. It won't work. Trust me. On the other hand, if the threat is no longer benign, that's not funny either. If tickling becomes too aggressive or unwanted, there's nothing okay about that. So, if for some reason you were really looking forward to tickling a stranger, sorry, but no. You'll probably get kicked out, possibly arrested, and worst of all, you wouldn't get to hear the rest of my speech. What's interesting here is that almost paradoxically, humor is often associated with a negative emotion. When you laugh, you typically feel happy, but that amusement doesn't necessarily come from something that is also happy. In the words of French philosopher René Descartes, you should never put Descartes before Deshorse. It's pretty clear that Cherry Creek's class of 2018 is going to be amazingly successful and have a significant impact on the world. But things won't always go well, and we'll face plenty of setbacks, and sometimes it seems like things in the world we're entering have gotten too ridiculous to even laugh at. The purpose of my speech isn't to teach you how to be more funny. If I could do that, I would be making millions of dollars writing best-selling books under the pen name Mysterio McPherson to protect my identity. Instead, I want my speech to be more of a reminder. A lot of things are going to go well, but a lot of things are going to go badly too. But we can't have humor without the bad things. In a week, most of you will not even remember what my speech was about. But you should never forget that humor is valuable because we face adversity. In the actual words of English poet Charles Churchill, a joke's a very serious thing.
Diploma Group 3, please stand. Diploma Group 3, please come forward to receive your diplomas. Kira Veronica Langdon.
Reed Robert Goldberg Richmeyer.
Catherine Lafort.
Zachary Alexander Wallace.
Lindsay Carol Benkelman.
Anthony Espinoza.
Matthew Lafort.
Riley Lowell Taylor.
Emily Jane Ancona.
Thomas Gulbin.
Alex Marcano.
Taha Taha.
Camille Acadia Harmon.
Anthony Thomas James Dorrance.
Ethan Land.
Nick Stewart.
Molly Jane Cutter.
Madison Friedman.
Toby Lee.
Sean Walker.
Nicole Catherine Benkelman.
Shepard Eggers.
Hamilton Lee.
Natasha Marie Tache.
Gabrielle Sarah Ashcraft.
Ethan Robert Geller.
Siddharth Monet.
Maria Velasquez.
Brett Paul Benedetti.
Anna Cecilia George.
Jenna Link.
Jenna Elizabeth Sexton.
Gabe Richard Austin.
Kelly Denaro.
Nicole Lee.
Melina Aurelia.
Pedro Justo Estacio.
Blake Green.
Sasha May Luttrell.
Alana Margaret Turkington.
Timothy Edward Bauer.
Samuel J. Freed.
Anna Lawrence.
Tamra Sriram.
Salar Gayor Bhavanpur.
Quentin George Fellows.
Julia March.
Sebastiana Rosset.
Adam Joseph Barrett.
Daniel Joseph Friedman.
Sydney Nicole Meck.
Mary Olivia Soberheim.
Max Hendon.
Gunnar Jordan Garcia.
Hannah Summer May.
Rachel Leah Schiff.
David Camhigh.
Colin Lawrence Green.
Aaron Markham.
Michelle Stybrina.
Andrea Arias.
Alexandre Joseph Dupre.
Riley Markham.
Bella Jacqueline Rios.
Sydney Eliza Beckett.
Julian Matthew Thanos.
Michelle Moon.
Hannah Morgan Sievers.
Emily Elizabeth Bentler.
Dogmaui Haile.
Janice Lee.
Tristan Alexander Vallis.
Georgia Grace Batson.
Nicholas Hemming.
Krista Lee Molesky.
Davis Edward Varco.
Jesus Anaya.
Hamza El Habasi.
Eve March.
Zachary Michael Tate.
Bryant Alvarado.
Kyle Raymond Hanlon.
Ethan Quincy Miller.
Adwa Sakwa.
Artur Eisenberg.
Olivia Hanks.
Caleb McCurdy.
Ryan Stevens.
Omar Bazian.
Catherine Charlotte Dillon.
Jason Lee.
Cameron Tony.
Kezia Ariel Douglas.
Joshua Fulmer.
Sean Lee.
Jacob Thomas.
Lily Anastasia Bernardis.
Sam Flora.
Andrew Miller.
Brigida Marie Bennett.
Abigail Fisher.
Gabe Ferrier.
John Connor Morrison III.
Rebecca Taylor.
Sandra Jean Barkowie.
Bennett Edelstein.
Nate Kujawski.
Allie Slevin Dotson.
Mustafa El Tai.
Peter James DePaula.
Van Lucas.
Ishani Singh.
Will Anderson.
Brahm Eccles.
Hajun Lee.
George Sutherland.
Jad Arawa.
Calvin Frenzel.
Elijah Martin.
Anit Tiagi.
Roger Jr. Anno.
Gabriel Grundon.
Karen Lee.
Ivan Shelkovich.
Joseph Hayek.
Duncan Lloyd Gottschall.
Sarah Marie Moyman.
Tierra Stonsberry.
George Hill Conway.
Eric Ross Gottschall.
Joe Morris.
Rachel Sochinsky.
Chris Ditzenberger.
Larissa Margaret Gamble.
Dawson McCann.
Ben Sampson.
Everett Kane.
Jacob Taylor Grimm.
Janae Catherine Mahaffey.
Olivia Stacks.
Marcus Avalos.
Emma Jane Golliv.
Hannah Geneva Moyman.
Kaylee Ulansky Jackson.
Jesse Marie Adams.
Marissa Elise Haddon.
Clara Lavandier.
Jaylee Seacrest.
Aaron Becker.
Jill Gerardo.
Victoria Nicole McCann.
Dimitri Stanley.
Megan Amanda Kelly Atwell.
Julia Rose Greenwald.
Holly Lundell.
Simone Tewelde.
Chloe Leanne Ashworth.
Ashley Lauren Garcia.
Maeve McLean Miller.
Jacob Stoken.
Ty Engelkey.
Grace Marie Gerberding.
Andrew Merton Morlang.
Christian Stapin.
Caden Motarjmi.
Rachel Giffen.
Madison Sean Kaylee Loya.
Charles Talt Tulip.
Brett Phillips.
John Dishler.
Hannah Maureen Matheson.
Daniel Rubens.
Vincent Samuel Luther.
Annalise Iember Engelman.
Vanessa Alexandra Lombardi Trejo.
Khadijah Salim.
Graham Miller.
Grace Meridian Betcher Gifford.
Jack Lay.
Max Curcio.
I think I got it. Miles Dennis.
Sarah Davi Bordick.
Hari Sorajian.
Connor Jacob William Thompson.
Graham Davidson Groth.
Addison Faye Dodd.
Optine Akrimi.
Ansley Avis.
Katie Ebner.
Henry Alexander Friedman.
Miriam Zari.
Taylor Michelle Archer.
John Duffy.
Claire Nicole Hudson.
Aaron Jimin Shin.
Peyton Alexandra Cannon.
Trent Alexander Fowler.
Aiden Christopher Hutchings.
Brandy Nicole Munger.
Mark Elliott Naraki.
Teresa Diaz Fernandez. Alejandro Hadiji Jr.
Roxanne Louise Pilato. Michael Chico Percy. Joanna Vasquez Cardona.
Congratulations, Diploma Group 3.
It's like forgetting the words to your favorite song. You can't believe it. You were always singing along. It was so easy, and the words so sweet. You can't remember. You try to feel the half of your life trying to fall behind. You're using your headphones to drown out your mind. It wasn't easy, and the words so sweet. You can't remember. You try to move your feet.
Someone's deciding whether or not to leave. He opens the window just to feel the breeze. He hears that more from his friend across the sky.
It's like forgetting all of the words to your favorite song. You can't believe it. You always felt like you belonged. It was so easy. Memories so sweet. Always remember. Try to move your feet. It was so easy, and the words so sweet. Always remember. Just try to feel the beat.
We are only 6 out of 834 students in the graduating class 2018. All 834 students have a story and have had challenges and obstacles in our lives. However, our journey at Creek has led us to who we are today.
I am a leader.
I am a hard worker.
I am a first-generation high school graduate.
I am a DACA student.
I am a role model.
I am a fighter.
We all challenge the stereotype of a Cherry Creek student while interacting with our fellow classmates at sporting events and in the classrooms. In previous years, it would be unlikely to hear stories like ours at a ceremony such as this. We want to show that Cherry Creek students are so much more than the empty stereotype associated with our school.
In the 2nd grade, I started living with my grandparents. Through my time living with them, I have had a loving environment like everyone else. In the 2nd grade, I discovered I had a learning disability. This turns out to be the toughest obstacle that I would overcome throughout my high school career. Because of this, I come to school an hour early every day and use my off periods to get help from my wonderful teachers. I could never repay them for giving up their lunch hour so that I could be successful. My junior year, I joined FCCLA. Through this wonderful organization, I've grown as a person, came over challenges, and became a leader.
I grew up in a Spanish-speaking home and began high school in ELA classes. But I have worked extremely hard, and now I'm not in those classes anymore. On top of learning the language I was not native to, I have also worked at least 30 hours a week to put myself in a position to go to college. Many of my teachers and other Creek students cannot fully understand my challenge.
You got this.
Cannot understand my challenge of balancing school with my job. Yet one teacher was not only supportive, but encouraging during a difficult junior year. It was through the support of Ms. Garcia, as well as seeing my own parents struggle, that I have gained that work ethic and the motivation to put myself in a place where I won't have the same struggles. Yo nací en un hogar en donde se habla español. Y desde que empecé la escuela,
yo tenía clases de ELA, pero he trabajado muy duro y ahora ya no estoy en esas clases. A pesar de que no se hablaba el inglés en mi casa, yo he trabajado 30 horas a la semana para poder ponerme en una posición para ir al colegio. Muchos de mis maestros y otros compañeros no entendían que yo tenía que balancear la escuela con mi trabajo. Una maestra no nada más me entendía, pero me apoyaba durante el año pasado, que fue el más difícil. Era por la maestra García y por los obstáculos de mis padres que me han motivado y que me han dado la ética para poder ponerme en una posición en donde yo no tenga que pasar por lo mismo que ellos pasaron.
I stand here as a proud DACA recipient, and I'm here today to tell you my side of the story. Many people know I had a hard time here at Cherry Creek. I'm different from the typical Cherry Creek High School student. Sorry. I'm proud of not just being like any other student. I stand here along my Avid family who had always showed me support and believed in me even when I didn't. They supported me. They have supported me and gave me the motivation to keep going. Ms. Deve and many other teachers have believed in me and gave me and enabled me to accomplish things I never imagined possible. I cannot thank them enough for what they have done for me. Thank you.
I stand on the stage today as the smartest, dumb person I know. Walking into Cherry Creek as a freshman, I wanted to look cool, wanted to be accepted. With this desire, I did many things that I now look back on and I regret. I look back at the person I was before, and sometimes I can't believe the person I've become today. As I've grown and matured throughout my years at Creek, I realize all that I'm capable of. I've discovered my passions, built independence, and made changes for the better in order to become the man that my family, as well as myself, has always wished for me to become.
Besides being a first-generation high school graduate, I am also a daughter, a sister, a friend, and a leader. I will not only be the first person in my family to stand on a graduation stage, but the first to attend college. Although I have accomplished so much, the journey hasn't been easy. I've faced the difficulty of having a family member be on the verge of deportation. Not everyone experiences this, but let me tell you, it's not easy. My mind was always somewhere else. I was always worried about my family's safety and had to have a plan in case things didn't go as expected. Our situation eventually got better, but that experience today has now made me stronger.
Though I may look like a typical Cherry Creek student on the surface, I've had to fight my way into this community. It hasn't always been easy. Walking into a classroom where everyone had known each other since kindergarten was intimidating to say the least, but I didn't let it define me. After finishing elementary school, I got the opportunity to join AVID, a program to help me find my footing academically. AVID has given me the confidence to make friends and pursue my passion managing football. Without moving to Creek, I would have never taken the shots I have, from getting my grades up to being accepted into college. These are things I couldn't have accomplished without this community. I still may not be the typical Cherry Creek student, but I'm the person I wanted to become, and that is all due to the Cherry Creek community.
Though our stories may be different from the typical Cherry Creek stereotype, we do not feel we have been deprived of anything. In fact, we feel Cherry Creek has provided us with opportunities we wouldn't have had anywhere else. And we want to point out that our stories are also the stories of all of you.
I am Brandy and I am a leader.
I am Teresa and I'm a DACA student.
I am Alejandro and I am a hard worker.
I am Joanna and I am a first-generation high school graduate.
I am Michael and I am a role model.
I am Roxanne and I'm a fighter.
Together, along with all of you,
we are Creek.
Diploma Group 4, please stand. Diploma Group 4, please come forward to receive your diplomas. Kate Hune.
Cameron Pike.
Nathaniel Yardeni.
Samantha Paige Fujia Davis.
Sandra Rebecca Cole.
Haley Serafina Nutt.
Faith Maya Weekly.
Connor Anthony Calderon Wright.
Jaden Caroline Kramer.
Jake Muniz.
Parker Perlmutter.
Samuel Harris Cole.
Molly Christina Jones.
Nathan Rika.
Zachary William Smith.
Andrew Knox Dent.
Dustin Johnson.
Drew Michael Petrie.
Robert Harmon Sullen.
Ian Bossman.
Camilla Claire Holmson.
William Pinkelman.
Carolyn Hannah Robertson.
Emma Catherine Chichester.
Kate Lauren Honeyfield.
Caitlin Pinkelman.
Emily Catherine Parker.
Maya Borenstein.
John Patrick Husted.
Bailey Ann Reifenberger.
Talia Marin Schwartz.
Isaac Harold Bloom.
Johnny Higgins.
Sarah Booty Reagan.
Neil Austin Sklar.
Peter DeLine.
Grace Kinmartin.
Grace Caroline Petroff.
Max Ashok Pumilia.
Zach Biederman.
Alexandra Evelyn Hong.
Raul Rojas.
Madeline Emery Yeager.
Luke Van Burton.
Swathi Campella.
Brandon Rosas.
Christina Jade Molay.
Madeline Mina Choi.
Rasa Humiyamtawa.
Michaela Ann Rapp.
Amanda Jane Stewart.
Dobbin Choi.
Liesel Teresa Jensen.
Georgia Kathleen Roberts.
Tessa Marie Woodard.
June Woo Choi.
Haley Emma Hogue.
Ethan Rawson.
Mia Leah Rabin.
Alex Long Bruce.
Taylor Siles Crystal Hill.
Jared Pond.
Joey Lauren Murray.
Andre Burks.
Mariella Isabel Sepulveda Hollins.
Ben Roswell.
Molly Lynn Powell.
Christian Davis.
Arjane Unique Knight.
Joshua Pyun.
Carolyn Shelby LaFavor. Carolyn Shelby LaFavor.
Julia Biarero.
Rashawn Amir Johnson.
Shanna Park.
Levi Christopher Von Felt.
Bijan Russell Shaman Bahar.
Kalen John Kennedy.
Carl Marie May Peb Benito.
Cyprian Alexandre Tofa.
Retisia Dumont.
Henry Jane.
Claire Nelson.
Nicholas Thayer Williams.
Chloe May Brady.
Kylie Tatum Hunter.
Alexa Louise Peach.
Matthew Yeager.
Kaylee Saya D'Ambrosia.
Lorena Valeria Hoyt.
Ariana Nava Rios.
Anjali Surya Divagupta.
Blake Kretzmar.
Noor Rashid.
Julie Ann Zonner.
Terry Beth Chen.
Parker Hilvitz.
Alexis Dominique Pena.
Susan Han Zhang.
Evan Bright Cruz.
Elizabeth Cahaley.
Gabriella.
Kun Tai Park.
Way back in the day. Gabriella Nicole Weiss.
Ryan Charles Brickmont.
Clarissa Koch.
Abhilash Prabhakaran.
Emily Yiying Zhang.
Isabella Marguerite Berteau.
Ryan Heck.
Gwyneth Arms.
Ari Zucker.
Jasmine Marie Bivens.
Michael Kohler.
Hannah Zeva Preskin.
Livy Zeitler.
Tom Kano.
Haley Allison Wortel.
Janae Angele Monet Jiner.
Savannah Up.
Haley Allison Wortel.
Rebecca Bolio Hernandez.
Adam Fred Herger.
Gabriel Reuter.
Walter Joseph Wedewer.
Ricardo Ellen DeBasto.
Byungjin Kim.
Reed Peterson.
Juliana Kamalii Wallen.
Jonah Darnell.
Hayden McCall Warner.
Yoga Verakata Sai Neolaptal Katuri.
Abby Musler.
Hayden McCall Warner.
Mitchell Kirk Cook.
Daniel Minjun Kim.
Anushka Pal.
Yufan Yang.
Connor Fitzgerald Corrigan.
Emily Shi.
Shamuka Shiva Kakorla.
Nika Napolitan.
Emily Shireen Powis.
Kyle Antonio DiGiorgio.
Allison Kuteki.
Eran Rotem.
Callahan Liam Wilson.
Kayla Rebecca Boxer.
Zara Rabatovich.
Jubilee Reeves.
Lowell Edward Cahaley Wilson.
Caitlin Ann Blakely.
Gloria Peace Jung.
Chadwick Mulligan.
Alan Chafee West.
Melanie Chan.
Leah Marie Hushak.
Sean Nisbet.
Lucas McCurdy.
Owen DeGroot.
Kyle Rhodes.
Yungfei Huang.
Callie Ryland.
Kyle Rhodes.
Kevin Delfelser.
Sonia Kazi.
Eric Daniel Rupstov.
Hector Sandoval.
Sarah Ann Zendel.
Sam Angel.
Hannah Bion Ponce.
Ryan Caruso.
Nicholas Charles Salvatore Mirabella.
Jacob Harrison Ramirez Bolin.
Jonathan Yungian Kim.
Andy Nguyen.
Jared Elias Scott.
Leon Kelman.
Stephen Philip Sigmund.
Jaron Tajay Lewis.
Rachel Marie Mose.
Cole Whitfield Cantor.
Hamanvi Kapuri.
David Jacob Goldstein.
Cole Frederick Drew.
Zachary Kuteki.
Julia Manson Woolley.
Stephen Mason Maloney.
Molly Leah Paris.
Paul Archer Nicknish.
Margaret Claire Doherty.
James Hennessy Singer. Congratulations, Diploma Group 4.
One of them once caused a tsunami.
Hey, I told you that.
You guys see what I have to deal with?
But it's true. Mr. Kraft told us.
I think the point that Mr. Kraft was trying to make is that one small action can have very dramatic effects, especially in economics.
Okay, maybe it was an analogy, but the butterfly effect extends past AP Econ. It's about how actions we take can have impacts far beyond what we may consider.
Wow. Way to just hijack my point in front of 10,000 people.
Oh my God, you'll be fine. But I guess to make it up to you, here's a lollipop.
You know what? This lollipop reminds me of a good example. In his TED Talk, Everyday Leadership, Drew Dudley details a time when he had a positive butterfly effect on someone, what he likes to call a lollipop moment.
Oh, yeah. On freshman orientation day at his college, he went around campus handing out lollipops to incoming freshmen. This was an event he barely remembered.
A few years later, when he was about to leave, he was approached by a woman who wanted to thank him for giving her a lollipop 4 years earlier, which convinced her to not drop out of school.
She said to him, "You've been an incredibly important person in my life. I am going to miss you. Good luck."
Through this simple gesture of handing out lollipops and a little bit of humor along the way, he was a butterfly who had unknowingly impacted at least one life, if not more, that one day years before.
But the butterfly effect isn't limited to just giving a lollipop to someone. In fact, we have butterflies all around Creek.
Last year, I was sitting in my comparative government class when I felt a tap on my shoulder. I turned around and saw my now AP Bio teacher, Mr. Dufford, who routinely came in to watch class discussions. He said, "You interest me." Those three seemingly unimpactful words launched a very meaningful and important relationship with one of the greatest people I have ever had the pleasure of meeting.
Whether it's Mrs. Major's generosity in making us goodies for Valentine's Day, or our debate coach Marty Benham's willingness to use her comfortable office for a therapy session, we've seen butterflies every single period for 4 years.
Right now, as students, we are all caterpillars ready to emerge from our cocoons into full-fledged butterflies. But with big wings come big responsibilities.
Our actions have the ability to change lives, to inspire them, to better them, to save them.
Our actions have the ability to change lives, to dishearten them, to worsen them, to end them.
Within our lifetimes, we've seen butterflies incite destructive tsunamis.
Columbine,
Sandy Hook,
Arapahoe.
Parkland.
What first started as one awful tragedy has now spread to the point where there have been 22 school shootings with casualties in the first 20 weeks of 2018 alone.
School shootings have dominated the news and our lives, but they aren't the only tragedies that impact us. It seems that far too often we are faced with a destructive butterfly that causes pain and suffering to so many.
As butterflies, we can make powerful choices to ensure that we are improving our world.
Because if we go out and fill the world with positive butterflies, we can help stop the destruction caused by negative ones.
And although we cannot change our past, we still have power over our futures. So as we go off to college, the labor force, or wherever our journey takes us, we must remember that our actions can have a profound effect on the people around us.
Today, there are 834 caterpillars sitting here, ready to take the next steps in our lives and transform into butterflies. Even though we might all end up in different places, we have the power to influence the world through our thoughts, our words, and our deeds.
After all, if what Himanvi claims is true and a butterfly can create a tsunami, then 834 butterflies can create 834 tsunamis. Now the question is, what kind of tsunami do you want to create?
Jacob, good? Stephen, good? James? I think we're ready, yeah.
I remember the 35 sweet goodbyes when you put me on the Wolverine up to Annandale. It was still September when your daddy was quite surprised to find you like a gypsy queen in a fairy tale. I was chilling with the boys upstairs when I heard about the whole affair. I said, whoa, no, William and Mary won't do now. Well, I did not think the girl could be so cruel, and I'm never going back to my old school. California tumbles into the sea. That'll be the day I go back to Annandale. Trying to warn you about Chino and Daddy G, but I can't seem to get to you through the U.S. mail. But I can't go, I'm gonna take her down to Mexico. She said, whoa, no, what are the horrible do now? Well, I did not think the girl could be so cruel, and I'm never going back to my old school.
Graduates, please rise. You may now move your tassels from right to left, signifying your new status. It is a true honor to present to you the Cherry Creek class of 2018. Mr. Libby, please lead us in the recessional.
I know you moved on to someone new. Whole life is beautiful. You were the light for me to find my truth. I just wanna say thank you.
Leaving to find my soul. Told her I had to go. And I know it ain't pretty when our hearts get broke. Too young to feel this old. Watching us both turn cold. Oh, I know it ain't pretty when two hearts get broke. Yeah, I know it ain't pretty when two hearts get broke.
I hope someday we'll